tonight on the best of Would I Lie to You, Davina McCall, Jimmy Carr, Danny Logan, Richard Wilson, Ben Shepherd, Robert Webb, Frankie Boyle, Graham Garden, Nolan LeBen, Jason Medford, Russell Howard, and their team captain, Lee Mack. And facing them tonight, Rob Brydon, Michael Aspel, David Baddiel, Dara O'Brien, Trisha Gunnar, Phil Daniels, Rich Hall, Krishnan Gurumurthy, Danny Baker, Maureen Lipman, Michael McIntyre, and their team captain, David Mitchell. But first, behave like irritating neighbours and make lots of noise for your host, Angus Deaton.
Good evening and welcome to this hastily cobbled together, this specially compiled bonus edition of Would I Lie to You? Yes, 30 minutes of largely unbroadcast material deemed too funny to show you the first time round. If you have a red button on your handset, it will be of absolutely no use to you for the next half hour. This is a quiz about lying. Lying by omission is when you knowingly leave some information out, like when the estate agent shows you around in the 2-minute gap that the Eurostar isn't going through the kitchen. And scientists have developed a truth serum that makes people incapable of lying. It's called 6 pints of lager. And so to round one, in which our contestants are given one simple yet frequently insurmountable task: to read a statement from the card in front of them. They never know what's on the card, a true fact or something we made up earlier. This can lead to panic, nausea and occasional vomiting. People who expect high-quality fibbing should look away now.
I was voted the 47th sexiest man in Wales.
Who was the 48th?
I think was John Humphreys, the guy who reads.
Who made this part?
Wales has its own newspaper called the Western Mail.
Have we asked him which year this was?
Oh yeah, which year was it? It was clearly not in the last 10.
It was about... Listen to you, George Clooney. I can take that coming from Robert, who has a certain earthy charm.
Right, thank
but
you.
From a rejected Chuckle Brother, it's a bit rich.
So, are you team captain, what are you saying?
Okay, we think that's a lie.
Yeah.
Okay, they're saying it's a lie.
It's true.
It's absolutely true. Yep, it's true. Rob was voted the 47th sexiest man in Wales and would have finished even higher if he hadn't got cramp in his dialing finger. Next, Robert.
I was voted the 88th sexiest man in the world.
By who?
But it was the readers of some women's magazine.
Which one?
Blind and Wretched.
You would know.
Where did David finish?
I'm not so very sure David was on that
Not listed,
list.
unfortunately. Generally, Robert is considered the better-looking one of your outfit. But if it were me, can I say this? I think that you are easier on the eye than him. I think there's something very pleasing, and you may notice I've been looking at you a lot. He looks lovely.
I feel a bit weird about this. But, you know, thanks.
Rob,
Anyway,
if we could drag you back to the poll.
I think it's true.
Robert, the answer?
It is true.
It is true.
I had an interview at MI5 to be a spy.
Where's MI5, Jimmy?
Where's MI5?
Yeah.
Well, it's on the South Bank now, but that building wasn't finished at the time. So it was a meeting in Millbank.
What was it, like a planning meeting to join MI5?
Like a planning? No, I wasn't going to build a new
The fact
headquarters.
the building wasn't finished.
We're thinking of setting up a big organisation of spies.
Well, you know...
Lots of guns and handcuffs and itching powder. We don't know how we're going to use that, but it's all fun. And we're building a huge, crazy building on the South Bank, which is actually MI6, but never mind.
Can I say I'm worried now that you know a bit much about it, and you really do seem like a spy, I think, because you're posh and a tiny bit gay, even though you're not.
Well, hang on, David. I'll stop you there. Posh and a little bit gay. What are you talking about, man?
This is like Spartacus. No, I'm posh and a little bit gay.
You're the least posh and a little bit gay of anyone in the world ever, Liz.
Fuck off, you pup.
Yes, right.
Thing is, Jimmy, if I'm right about you, you were a virgin until you were about 27, as far as I remember.
26.
26.
And that was the last series of this show. Shall we not bring it up again?
Here's the thing. This was your opportunity to pull.
Would you have been sent abroad?
Well, don't you start. I'm having enough trouble with them.
You're not even in this.
show.
What are you talking about? Look, Jimmy, your attitude under interrogation is just a bit churlish, which, as a spy, it really shouldn't be, you know.
The other interrogator starts asking questions and you go, are you in this?
Was this during the Cold War?
Yeah, I'm 50.
You might be. Your hair's dyed. So.
Fashion tips from a tramp.
Now, girls. Was there a practical side to the interview? Did you have to...
Yeah, I had to fuck a girl in a speedboat.
David Mitchell, what are you thinking as team captain?
I think it's not true.
OK, we'll go with that. That's a lie.
OK, they're saying it's a lie. Jimmy?
It's a lie.
Can I just say, you've made that really hard for yourself. It says I once had an interview at MFI.
I have been wearing bronzing powder since the age of 12.
How old are you?
31.
31. No way. Bronzing powder wasn't around.
What exactly is bronzing powder? Is that the same
Yeah.
as... You mean to make you look suntanned?
Suntan like this.
Why do you wear it?
Well, you put it on and people go, well, you look, well. And then, you know, and I noticed that they were saying that. So I thought, well, look, can I ask you a question? Why are we 7 in makeup?
Well, to catch up with you.
The fact is, you're in makeup because you want to look good on TV, and I just want to take that into you know, outside of television.
You want to look TV smooth 24/7.
Yeah.
These things must come in specific colours and
Bronze.
stuff. What option have you chosen?
Deep bronze. Heavenly mahogany. I don't know the actual bloody name of the colour.
Graham, what do you think?
Well, if that's deep mahogany bronze, he's been robbed. No, that's a lie. It's a lie.
Big lie.
Big lie.
They're saying it's a lie, so Michael, fact or fable?
It is indeed true. TV good, baby. 24/7. TV good. People party in the street, they try and change channel. Look at this guy. He looks TV good. I saw.
I mean, I'm very glad you're so pleased for the team, but I think in a minute you're going to have to face the wider truth of what people now know.
No, I know.
It's true. Michael has been wearing bronzing powder since the age of 12. The good thing about bronzing powder is that people can't see that you're embarrassed, no matter how many times they point and shout, there's a grown man wearing bronzing powder. And so to Lee's team, who have this rather eerie premonition of impending disaster, for those who are aware of how Rod Hull sadly met his end.
Yeah, I've locked up the canteen. Everything's nice and
Look, well, it never worked anyway, did it? Here, look. It's that underground. It's loosened the aerial. You'll have to go on the roof and fix it. No, I'm not going to go. Leave it, come on. You can't leave it. The viewers will have no programme.
I wonder what's wrong with it. Oh, it's that bit up there.
Has that got it?
Yes, that's all right.
Yes, that was Rod and Emu on the programme EBC, and as you'll no doubt be aware, tragedy struck shortly afterwards when Rod was given a second series. And some 19 years later, of course, Rod Hull did sadly die when fixing an aerial on his roof. So here's the intriguing Rod and Emu fact. Rod Hull was buried along with his fake arm and the very first emu. Or was he? Lee?
Does everybody know that he had a fake arm?
Well, he didn't have to. It wasn't a real emu.
He didn't really have a neighbour that was a fat green witch either.
I thought you meant that he had one of his arms wasn't real.
I think it would be an odd choice of career for a one-armed man to become a ventriloquist.
So what are you thinking? Is this truth or tosh?
I think it's a lie.
Robert,
I think it's a lie.
I think that is a lie as well. I'll say lie.
Okay, it is in fact a big fat lie. Yes. Yes, Rod Hull was not buried along with his fake armour and the very first emu. Rod's not the only performer to have made a living by dragging an erratic and embarrassing old bird around. Richard Madeley is doing very nicely as well. So, to David's team, who have this to say about.
Please present the meat on trays.
Don't tell.
Melissa, I don't know what you're trying to do, whether you're trying to upset our guests, but right now, I'm starting to get pissed. Now, will you send your food? Let's go. Right. Dome's off. Jen,
Yes, sir.
describe the dish.
That's a duck breast.
You four hell's bitches, I am embarrassed. I don't think I've ever been so embarrassed inside this restaurant in my entire life. Get out my sight.
He's so angry in that, he's forgotten the word of. it's essentially the way he's been obviously willing to Americanise for the money, so he's actually accidentally said that he's going to get drunk. And he said, bring the meat, I think he was trying to say the meat entrees, because that's entrees what the Americans moronically refer to a main course as. But it just sounds like, bring on the meat entrees. What meat entrees? That you serve the meat? Yeah, a big tray of meat, $9.99. And clearly the thing that he's good at is saying fuck. And they've told him he's not allowed to say it. And all he can say is, I'm embarrassed.
Gordon Ramsay, anyway, less than happy about the duck. Of course, normally in Gordon's kitchen, if they shout out duck, it's because he's just thrown a meat cleaver at someone's head. Please welcome tonight's special guest person, Gareth. So, Tricia, what's Gareth to you?
This is Gareth, and he came on my show to cure his fear of Scotch eggs.
Yeah, right.
Okay, Rich, perhaps you'd like to explain how you know Gareth?
This is Gareth, and he pimped my ride and turned my car into the ultimate fishing mobile.
And finally, David, what's your relationship with Gareth?
This is Gareth, and he freed me from a roller coaster when the car got stuck.
Oh, please let that one be true. Please.
So there you are. Tricia's phobic guest, a car pimper, according to Rich, or a theme park rescuer, if we believe David. Lee's team, where do you want to start?
Oh, definitely Tricia. I've seen your show. You don't have people that come on because they're scared. You might have come on because you had sex with a Scotch egg. Scared of a Scotch egg.
He had a bad experience.
How does the fear manifest itself?
He used to sort of get panicky and scared when he saw Scotch eggs.
Surely it's really easy to avoid Scotch eggs. I mean, there's a tiny section of the supermarket that you could easily walk round. Oh, I need to get some Baileys for Christmas. Oh, an egg!
What if he loves pork pies?
Yeah.
Name a supermarket where the pork pies aren't right next to the Scotch eggs.
And what was your show called, that particular one?
It was called Fiancé, Your Fear of Scotch Eggs Will Ruin Our Wedding Buffet.
That's insensitive. Now, to deliberately order the pyramid of Scotch eggs. No, your future husband's terrified of them.
If I could steer you towards one of the others.
Oh, yes.
What about the roller coaster? Which roller coaster? Maybe was it?
It was the runaway mine train. The idea was that a historical train by which mines were accessed had run away with itself, and that would be scary.
Where was it?
It was Alton Towers.
Alton Towers.
And so how did you get stuck?
Well, the train ceased to run away. But it goes through lots of tunnels, and in one of the tunnels, it suddenly stopped in the dark.
Right.
And they said over there was a speaker, and they said, stay where you are, we'll be sending someone, and it was Gareth.
I'm honestly struggling with the idea that you went for a day out to Alton Towers. Were you presenting a documentary for BBC4 about the horror of modern life?
Well, David's not been on a ride and got stuck, has he?
No, David's never been on a ride.
I have. I was on a stag do. That's where people like me have to do things that they wouldn't otherwise remotely want to do.
What about Richard Carpenter?
Rich, your car was turned into a fishing mobile.
What is the car? What was it? What made it?
It's not a car, actually. It's a small pickup truck.
So how did it turn into a fishing mobile?
Well, basically, there's just two big all-weather bucket seats in the back that you can sit on and fish without, and swivel. It's got a rack for fishing rods, and the glove box folds out, and you can tie flies in the glove box.
No, it sounds like he's doing drive-by fishing.
There we go. To get out of your truck.
So he's not done much pimping, has he? All he's done is took a better pickup truck, stuck some fishing rods in and a bucket. It's not pimp my ride, it's stick a bucket in my car, is what it should be called.
Am I right in saying that the phrase pimp my ride means modify my car?
Yeah.
You can either go for the Scotch egg-fearing guest on Tricia's show, Rich's personal car customiser, or David's roller coaster saviour.
Well, look, right, Tricia's thing is just madness, right? If David had to go on a stag party, he'd insist that it all got changed and they went to Venice.
The only thing that makes me think David might be telling the truth is that Gareth fella there has got the look in his eyes of a man who has at some point he's like spinned a waltzer and tried to chat up a 14-year-old girl.
I don't think he can be Scotch egg boy because he wouldn't want to come on national television again to reveal he was scared of Scotch egg.
So, Lee, please, a decision.
I don't know why, but I think it's Trisha's telling the truth.
No.
I do, honestly. Oh, wow. I'm going to go for Trisha.
Lee is saying it's Trisha. Gareth, perhaps you'd like to reveal who you really are.
I went on Trisha to cure my fear of Scotch eggs. I got picked on at school because my mum was the dancer in the titles of Tales of the Unexpected.
We can remind ourselves of what Russell's mother looked like.
So your mother was a professional dancer or an actress? And
She was a professional dancer, yeah.
What were the other highlights of your mother's dancing career?
We never really went into it.
So you never...
You're not going to go at age like, Mum, you done any other dancing that I'd...
To be fair, you might have spoken to your mother since the age of 8 and discussed her career then.
Yes. But it's something we don't really do.
You don't talk about your mother's embarrassing dancing past?
Not really, no.
You have never asked or bothered to find out what else she did in her career as a dancer?
Well, it's clearly a fucking lie, isn't it? But I've been...
Do I get extra points for capitulation?
I was buying it until, we brought on board the world's toughest lawyer.
Well, you know that every job your parents have had...
Nobody knows what their dad does. What are you talking about?
Nobody knows what their dad does. I was basically totally willing to believe the whole Tales of the Unexpected thing. It was just the refusal to countenance having discussed your mother's dancing career beyond that. It seems so implausible.
Because, as we now know, nobody knows what their father does.
You have a vague idea of what your dad does, but you don't know the nitty-gritty. Go through all your dad's jobs then, as you know every one of them.
Okay, well, he didn't have many. He lectured in hotel and restaurant management from 1976 to about a year ago when he retired. Before that...
But the fact is, before that, his dad was the dancer on the of Tales of the Unexpected.
Right. These are the wig and glasses I wear if I want to pop to the shops unnoticed.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you mind slipping into it?
Is that the right way round?
No, it's the right way around.
And the glasses?
It's Davina.
Good grief.
I know we have to make a guess, but I'm really liking that look. By the way, I like it very much.
Thanks, Michael.
I would.
Oh yeah. But me, my opinion is worth nothing to you. But Asper,
you look like Ken Barlow's Ultimate Fantasy.
So, David, what are you thinking?
I think we're going to go for a lie then.
Lie.
They're all going for a lie suddenly. Davina, tell us whether it's the truth or a lie.
It is a lie.
It is a lie.
But can I keep these?
Yes.
This is the coconut that nearly killed me.
Is it believable?
Where were you?
Under a coconut tree. What do you think? I was stood underneath a coconut tree, the coconut fell off the tree, barely missing me.
And you brought it home?
Yeah.
I'm suspicious because you're not allowed to bring fruit and vegetables from foreign countries into...
Well, you've made the classic mistake, haven't you, Tricia? Because a coconut isn't a fruit or a vegetable. It is, in fact, a seed.
it almost hit you.
It almost hit, yeah. It went past my face, hit my shoulder, bounced off. On the floor.
Why did you decide to keep it?
Yeah.
Because I thought it'd make a nice anecdote. Clearly, I was wrong.
At the moment of shoulder pain, the moment when your shoulder has been bruised, possibly shattered by the coconut, you think, I must keep that for anecdotal reasons. I don't want to be rude, but this is a coconut. It fell off a tree, hit me on the shoulder, but obviously if it had hit me on the head in the right place, I might have died. It's not as interesting a story as perhaps you think. I might actually elicit the response, if only it had.
I will throw this coconut at your head now, right? And I will, no, hang on, I will, David. I will throw this coconut at your head and hit you on the shoulder really hard.
No,
and I guarantee, be quite interesting now. Don't push me, David! Do not push me!
No one is insured for that to happen. We think it's a lie.
Truth or lie?
It is, in fact, a lie.
I have received fan mail from Angus Deaton.
I'm not actually allowed to take part in this question, unfortunately, because obviously I would be...
When was it?
Well, I've only recently become aware of this fact, so I can't tell you exactly when.
And how old was Angus when he wrote it to you?
Well, anything between sort of 7 and 60, I
Oh,
suppose.
OK, so this is from when...
51. But thank you.
Did this person, whoever it was, tell you roughly what the letter said and what it was in connection with?
Yes, it was a Capital Radio show.
A friend of mine was in the Susie Quattro fan club, right, and got a letter about 3 years ago. They used to get a newsletter every month with what Susie Quattro was up to, and he got a newsletter through the post, and it said, "Dear member, I'm afraid this will be the last newsletter going because there's only me and you left."
Lots of love, Susie. There's something about Angus which you would be interested in. He's a presenter. Yeah, I think he's a presenter and he's looking for tips. And,
look at his face.
Look at his little tiny face. I think it's true.
Michael, did I or didn't I?
Believe it or not, it's true.
That is actually the only fan letter I've ever written. You've only written one fan letter.
Yes, the first
Who was it to?
and only fan letter I've written was to Elizabeth Taylor when I was 14. Satan, she was the same age. It took a year for a response to come back. And then I licked the photograph signature and it didn't run. But when I met her eventually, she came on the chat show.
You licked her and she did run.
For 2 weeks, I drove a car that could only turn left.
When you say you drove for 2 weeks, you mean you couldn't stop? It just went on and on, turning left?
No.
Why could it only turn left?
It was hit. My wife had an accident in it, so you couldn't turn the wheel right. You had to only go left.
Why couldn't you turn the wheel right?
Because the metal of the car.
Hang on, Michael, don't get so technical with me. The metal of the car, yeah? Can you be more specific? What bit of the metal of the car?
The metal bit.
So at no point in the 2 weeks you were driving and there was only one way to go, which was a sharp right.
I wouldn't have been there because I've pre-planned my journey. It's very frustrating when you've got to be there and you realise the only way to get there is to go left, 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 and left again.
We all think as a team that not only is it a lie, it's a pretty bad lie. In fact, a lie that you should be ashamed of and you should leave the show immediately. It's just over there on your right. You might have to go through there, through there, through there.
Oh, no, I'm really upset! Don't support that! Well, how do you like this? It's true! Get over yourself!
I don't believe that. No way in the world you've had a car for 2 weeks that can't turn right. Do I look like a simpleton? Don't answer that. You cannot drive a car. You've been going around the one-way system forever, you lunatic.
You've got to understand the very truths they pick are the unlikely ones.
Right, it's my go. I used to live on the moon.
Do you consider that to be equally unlikely?
Yes, I do.
Well, you're an idiot.
No.
No one has ever lived on the moon.
No one has ever.
Cars have been damaged. It's so
He's
good
lying.
they put it on television.
I don't believe it.
There we are. It is true, Michael did drive a car that could only turn left for a whole 2 weeks. It would have been less, but unfortunately the AA sent out a van that could only turn right. When it was eventually diagnosed, it turned out the problem was caused by the nut holding the steering wheel. Which infuriating buzzing means at the end of tonight's programme, a glance at the scores reveals that there is no scoring, as this is a compilation show. So instead, I'll leave you with the results of a recent study that all of us lie at least twice a day, although the frequency apparently increases if you're a man on a speed date who's just noticed he's still wearing his wedding ring. Good night.
Join me for my show tonight with my guests with a gorgeous Cheryl Cole, Hollywood star Ben Stiller, King of Daytime Chat Paul O'Grady, and we have great music from Igloo and Hartley. That's Friday night with Jonathan Ross after the news at 10:35.
And meanwhile, the comedy continues on BBC Two with QI.